Are your 18-inch dolls looking for some dinner rolls? Today I show you how easy it is to make these dinner rolls, both ones that look like they've just been formed and ready to rise, and ones that are baked, all from some air dry clay. It's really easy. Come and see how to do it. Alright, before we get started, I want to talk to you about the product we're using. We're using an air dry clay called Model Magic by the Crayola Crayon people. It's marketed as a kids crafts product, but it's got some great uses for making doll food, but they're limited uses. I use this for things like rolls, marshmallows, things that I want to be white and spongy kind of texture. Because even dry, this stuff stays a little bit soft. It's kind of cool. You can't get really fine details with this like you can with polymer clay. It does come in colors. I've never bought anything other than white. You do have to be careful with this because this dries pretty quickly. So my favorite thing to do, I'll open it up. Whoops. Actually slit the bag. Okay. I take out just what I'm going to use at that time. And I fold the bag down, and I always have a freezer weight quart size Ziploc bag right next to me. Get out as much air as you can and zip this shut. Now don't unzip this until you get this used up or you want to put it back. It will keep a lot longer this way. I think in the future too, starting with this bag, once I get off camera, I'm actually going to write the date I opened the bag of clay on the label of the bag because it's hard to remember, and then you know if you've got a fresh bag or if you need to buy more. Even this way, it doesn't keep a whole long time. It'll keep for months, several months though, this way, as long as you get all the air out of there. So let's get started with our project. Okay, so we're going to make some dinner rolls. We're going to make some dinner rolls that have not been allowed to rise yet. So when I started out, I wanted to do some kind of see how big I wanted to make these. And these are, let me see, how big did I end up with? About 3/4 of an inch balls of just the plain Model Magic. I'm going to continue to make a dozen of those. Actually, I can probably take them out and get my glue in there so that I can just glue them down. Because these are not going to be made so they come out of the pan. I've just got plain tacky glue. That way, as the clay and the glue dry, they will stay in the pan. That's not quite big enough. And this is really all there is to making this size. We just make a ball, put it on the dot of glue. I'm putting on the dot of glue only because I'm going to want them to stay with the pan, in the pan and with the pan, and not, wander off in my storage box or get lost or something like that. And there we go. So now these are ready to that's all there is to making these. Now, let me get set up and we'll make some baked dinner rolls. All right, for our baked dinner rolls, I went ahead and rolled the dough, the clay out. I made 12, approximately 1 inch balls of clay. And now I'm going to kind of stick them together. Making sure they're nice and round on the top. If you've got some that are, there's always a few that are a little smaller. Now these are going to stick together, which is cool because that's going to be really neat. I'm by the way going to make a few more not in the pan, so they'll be easier to show you another little trick when we're all done. If you've got extra clay and you don't think you're going to use it up right away, go ahead and make more dinner rolls. Alright, now we have these. So now we want to color. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to take them out of the pan or not. So I am going to get myself a nice surface to lay them on where I won't get them dirty. Now this side is already a little flat. We're going to color them and make them look baked, but we're going to start with the bottoms because I'm going to stick them in the pan. I won't be able to deal with the bottoms after I stick them in. These are chalk pastels. They are, and they're just cheap soft pastels from Michael's. Most craft stores have some variety of these, and they are used a lot in making food out of clay, whether it's this kind of clay or polymer clay. This is how we make it look baked. So I'm using, you can use, by the way, you can also use matte eyeshadow in the correct colors, but don't use sparkly. That would just kind of ruin the effect. So this is like a golden yellow or golden ochre. We always start with the lightest color. And I like to scrape it with a craft knife right onto my tile. And this is an eyeshadow brush. And we're just going to do just the very bottoms. Yeah, that's in frame. Just the very bottoms of our rolls. And yeah, this is really yellow right now. But once we get a couple more colors on, it won't be. And normally I would have my head right over this so I'd be able to see more what I'm doing, but I don't want the camera to have to look at the back of my head. There's like a huge piece of cat hair there. Now it's optional if you want to go around the outside edges of the outside rolls, you can. I'm not going to. Now we're going to add, this is kind of a reddish brown color, kind of a rusty color. And I mix that with what was left of the yellow, and now I'm brushing that over. As I go darker, I use less and less of each color. The lighter color gets the most. And if you're going to fasten your rolls into your pan, you don't have to do this on the bottom. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to pull mine out or if I'm going to leave them in here. And then for this, we just need just the smallest amount of a dark brown. Now, wipe your hands with a wet wipe. I'm just going to put this over because I don't want to touch these at this point. Didn't want to touch the side, the part that had paint on. Now it would be better if this filled the pan. I thought it was going to, so let's make 3 more. This is the first time I've made these rolls in this size pan, so let's just make 3 more and stick on the end. To do that, 1. See, I've got chalk on my hands, so it's showing. 2. Just very quickly, just brush a little dust on the bottom, little powder on the bottom. All right, now that makes for a more full looking pan. Now, let's wipe up this because we want to start over with the yellow ochre. Once again, we scrape some yellow chalk off. I have paintbrush hairs sticking to my bread too. If I would have kept them all this size, they would have fit better. Hold this up. I forgot to pull my clay back up. A little more yellow. I've done this project many times in dollhouse size. This is only the first time I've actually done these in the 18-inch doll size. And yeah, that yellow looks kind of scary when it first goes on, doesn't it? Just go over all the tops. Now, again, we add the reddish brown to the yellow that's left. And as the clay dries and cures, the chalk will become pretty permanent. I've never had any come off. So that's going to be a little too dark. Let's add a little more yellow to it. We don't want to look like we overbaked the rolls. That's better. But you look down into the pan, you can see that this down inside between the rolls, it doesn't have the chalk dust on it. And I'm not sure why the chalk is not sticking to areas there. That's weird. But if you feel like one is too red or too yellow or too brown, just go back with the other colors until you have it balanced out to the baked color that you want. Alright, so our rolls are baked. Now they need to sit at least 24 hours until the clay is dried, and then we'll come back and take a look. Okay, so now our rolls have had a couple of days dry, and I have no idea what happened right there that the chalk did not stick. I have never had that one happen before. But I made a few extras here so I can show you something else. But here's our baked rolls in the pan. Here's our raw rolls, and here I have a piece of clay. I did 4 rolls. I colored them like those. show you something. You can pull this apart where you kind of just push them together. You'll need to use your fingernails to kind of help, but there. It looks like where you break two rolls apart. It has such cool texture. So if you didn't want to make the pans, you could do this. This is acting like it's not dry on the bottom, even though it's been sitting here for a couple of days. I probably should have come in and turned them upside down. But that's our dinner rolls. I hope you enjoyed this super simple clay project with the air dry clay. Come back next week and see what we make then.